Corralling the Blues by Colter Wall is going to be played in standard tuning and then capoed on the first fret of the guitar, being played out of C shapes. Now, at the time of me making this tutorial, there are no videos that I've found of Colter Wall playing this, so I'm speculating as to maybe some of the voicings here and whether or not this is how he's doing it. Colter Wall has a tendency to play his guitar tuned down either a half or full step, so it's possible that he's actually, like once a video surfaces, you'll see his capo on like the third or the second or the fourth fret or something like that, depending on how far his guitar is tuned down. But assuming that your guitar is in standard, capo on the first fret, play these chord shapes, and it puts us in the same key as Colter Wall on the album version of this song. So, the song is a waltz, and it's being finger-picked. This should be your feel throughout most of the song, like a down. I'm just kind of going down, up, 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 and I'm kind of lightly playing between my thumb and my first finger, while not being too mindful of what my second and ring fingers are doing behind it. Like the back of my nails are just kind of scraping the strings as I'm letting my thumb and first finger kind of do the downs and ups. Down, down, up, 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 down. So you might just want to get on a C chord. Down, up, 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 down, and just kind of get that lazy, lagging right hand feel. So, it starts on a C chord. Ring finger on the 5-string 3 fret, second finger on the 4-string 2 fret, open 3, first finger pulled back to the 2-string 1 fret, open 1. If you want to play a 4-fingered C chord, you can do that as well. In fact, you'll probably notice me doing that. 4-fingered C chord, your first and second fingers would be the same, but your ring finger pulls down to the 6-string 3 fret. Your pinky finger pulls down to the 5-string 3 fret. Also, it should be said, I'm speaking of all of these chord shapes as if the capo is the nut, and I'm saying frets 1, 2, and 3 instead of the real fret numbers of 2, 3, and 4. So, C chord. So you can hear that you just down, up, down, up, down, up feel happening on the C chord. And on the recorded version, he's kind of just getting into it. You can just hear him like down, up, and then there kind of be like almost some dead space, but his right hand is still lightly going, and you hear it kind of hit that up strum in the C chord. And then it goes to an E minor chord. E minor chord is going to be an open 6 string, second finger on the 5-string 2 fret, ring finger on the 4-string 2 fret, open 3, open 2, open 1. So you'll go down, up, down, up, down, up. And then the next chord will be an A minor chord. But getting into it, you can hear him lead into it by hitting his thumb on the 5-string 2 fret where your second finger is, and then opening into it. It would sound something like this. That wasn't it, like this. So you go to the A minor chord, and it's really probably more of an A minor 7 without the ring finger down. Open 5 string, second finger on the 4-string 2 fret. Leave the 3 string open. And as this chord begins, the 2 string doesn't have a finger on it yet, but you will hear the first finger hammer on to the 2 string 1 fret, like that. So out of the C chord. And then after that hammer on, you need to reach with your ring finger and grab the 6-string 3 fret, because that hammer on is indicating a walk down to a G chord. You can hit that G chord, and you can leave your second and first fingers in place. He may be picking them up off the fretboard here, but you've got a G feel. And then it walks up into an F, where you go second finger to the 4-string 2 fret, 1, then ring finger to the 4-string 3 fret. And as you're putting that ring finger down, you need for your then second and first fingers to be moving into position so that you can hit that waltz, so the down, up, down, up, down, up feel on strings 3, 2, and 1. So your second finger in this F chord should be going down to the 3-string 2 fret, and then your first finger should be barring the first fret of strings 1 and 2. Now sometimes you'll see me here, maybe not in this first chord, but later in the song, I'll just play a 4-fingered F chord where I don't bar with the first finger across strings 1 and 2. I just let the first finger grab the 2-string 1 fret, then I put my ring finger on the 5-string 3 fret, pinky finger on the 4-string 3 fret, second finger comes down on the 3-string 2 fret, and then I grab with my thumb the 6-string 1 fret. So sometimes you'll see me play this F chord. All right, but we're still in the intro. So if you go on, after that F chord, it goes back to the G chord. Ring finger to the 6-string 3 fret. You can let your ring finger block out that 5-string. You'll hear an open you'll hear an open 4 and open 3. And you'll also hear in this chord, Colter Wall suspend this G chord by putting his first finger down on the 2nd-string 1 fret. I'm trying to pull my second finger back so you can see where I'm putting my first finger. My second finger's not actually on the fretboard anywhere. And then it opens back up and then goes into the C chord. And in the C chord, you can hear like a down, up, and then lift your second finger off of the 4-string 2 fret and pluck with your thumb the open 4-string, and then immediately hammer on that second finger back to the 4-string 2 fret, and then your first finger in your strumming pattern should be kind of an up, grabbing the open 3-string so that you get. And then it walks back up to the C out of the G by going a G note on the 6-string 3 fret, open 5-string, second finger to the 5-string 2 fret, and then we roll back into the C chord. And that's the full intro. So one time through the intro is a C chord to an E minor chord to the A minor, hammer on, walk to the G, walk to the F, go back to the G, suspend the G, open the G, back to the C chord, hammer on, G, A, B, walk up to the C. And then it just cycles that as the verse. Whenever we get to the chorus, so the chorus happens after one of these little hammer-ons in the C, and you can hear the thumb go to the 6-string 3 fret for the G, but it doesn't really move to a full G chord. It's just kind of lingering there as a moving note until we get to the chorus, which will be an F chord to a G chord. So an F chord to a G chord, but whenever you get to the G chord, you don't just strum through it. Colter Wall hits that G chord and walks up the whole way to a C chord. So it'd be like an F strumming. F, strum, strum, G, A, B, C chord. So that's the first 3 chords of the chorus. It's an F to a G to a C, but the way you get to it is strum the F, walk up the G to the C. Now, this next chord in the chorus is a completely new chord to the song. It's going to be an A7. So we played an A minor 7 earlier, but this one will be major. So you'll have an open 5-string. You'll have your second finger on the 4-string 2 fret. You'll have an open 3-string. You'll have your second finger on the 2-string 2 fret. And you'll have an open 1-string. So out of the C, we've walked up to the C out of the G, C to the A7, and then we go to a D7. This is another new chord for the song. The way that the D7 will operate is your thumb and strumming should kind of be moving to start on an open 4-string. Your second finger on your left hand will be on the 3-string 2 fret. Your first finger will be on the 2-string 1 fret. And I use my ring finger to fill this out on the 1-string 2 fret. So we've gone from an A7 to a D7, and then it goes to a G7 chord. Now here's where, without a video, I kind of don't know what shape Colter Wall would be using here, but I'm reaching down to the 6-string 3 fret with my ring finger, and then pulling my first finger back to the 1-string 1 fret. And that's the way that I'm playing it. Now the last, at the end of the song, where he says Corralling the Blues kind of for a last time, I feel like he just probably plays this D7 and then probably this chord instead of reaching down to a 6-string. And it's just the open 4. It's just the open 2, the open. Let me start this again. This last G7 is just the open 3, the open 2, and then first finger on the 1-string 1 fret. And he may be playing it this way the whole song, out of the chorus. And then it walks back up into the C again out of that final G7. And then just another round of those verses. So in the intro to this tutorial, and that's the chord progression. In the intro to this tutorial, I just kind of picked around the neighborhood of where the lead break is. I didn't learn it note for note, but as long as you kind of get the feel of it. So it walks up to, or the lead kind of moves into this note here, and I think I just did like something like a 4-string 1 fret to 4-string 2 fret, an open 3, 3-string 2 fret, pull off, 4-string 2 fret, and then back up to the 2-string 1 fret. So there's a box of notes right here for a 4-string open, 4-string 1 fret, 4-string 2 fret, 3-string open, 3-string 1 fret, 3-string 2 fret, 2-string 1 fret. Like anything in there is kind of a lead in to get to that note. Should sound fine. Once you get there, you can hear it slide up to the 2-string relative 5 fret. I think it walks back down there, and then you've got, it comes to the 1-string, up to the 1-string 5 fret, down to the 1-string 3 fret. Then kind of just some more picking up here in this box, landing back on the 2-string 1 fret until you hear, like, that's kind of noticeable. So that's starting a little slide down on the 2-string relative 4 fret. It's the real 5 fret, but relative 4 fret, you pluck it and then immediately just slide your finger down. Later in the solo break, it runs back to the 1-string, like relative 7 fret, back down to the 5, back down to the 3, and may even walk up further than that, like to the 1-string 8 fret, 10 fret, 12 fret. So I mean, anything in that pattern right there, out of the C chord. Anything in there should sound pretty good for a lead break. So those are the chords and the movements and a little bit of idea of where to approach a lead break for the song Corralling the Blues by Colter Wall. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.